What's going on, guys? Before we get into this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel because we will be keeping you up to date with all the latest Gonzaga basketball news, and also like the video while you're at it. Now, the breaking news for today is Andrew Nembhard has officially been allowed by the NCAA to play for Gonzaga this season after transferring from Florida. So Andrew Nembhard, first of all, actually, this picture is for Wolf and Laker fan 09 because we got one of the Martin twins in the background, and he's a Nevada Wolfpack fan, so this picture's for him. But Andrew Nembhard, this will be his junior year. He was only a sophomore last year, and he declared for the NBA draft, but then decided to withdraw his name to transfer to Gonzaga. He had like a whole list of teams. He called it the Final Nine, and then he ended up choosing Gonzaga. And his brother actually plays college basketball too. I forgot this. Creighton, that's where it is. He plays Creighton, and now Andrew plays Gonzaga after transferring from Florida. But last year for Florida, he averaged around 12 points a game, and he's actually a 5-star recruit out of high school. So very, very highly recruited player out of high school, and was able to enter his name into the NBA draft. So obviously isn't that bad of a player, and we're going to be pretty stacked at the point guard position. Gonzaga is. We're going to have him, Jalen Suggs, and this one other new player that I haven't learned the name of quite yet. It'll take me some time to get down the names. It took me like 5 minutes to get Andrew Nembhard's name down because it is spelt so weirdly. But I don't know why he doesn't have to sit out a year, because the transfer rules for NCAA is if you transfer, you have to sit out a year unless you redshirted the year before. Like, let's say you're a freshman, you play your freshman year, let's say your sophomore year, you're gonna redshirt, and then the next year you're like, you know what? After that redshirt year, I look back and I'm like, I don't want to be there anymore. I want to start fresh, go somewhere new. Then you can just transfer and straight up go play for someone because you already sat out a year. But let's say after your freshman year, you did not decide to redshirt. You were just like, okay, I want to get out of here. I want to go somewhere else. Then you would have to sit out a year on that new team. Or you could just redshirt and stay on the team you were on before. The only exception to this, usually, is if you are going into your senior year. So if you're a junior and then you're like, I want to transfer for my last year, they don't make you sit out a year. You can just straight up go, kind of like how Jordan Matthews did for Gonzaga. And I think some other players have done it. Jordan Matthews is the first one that pops into my head. I think that... No, it's the only one I can think of right now. But I think the reason that they let Andrew Nembhard do this is because he didn't even get to play in the NCAA like March Madness last year because it didn't happen. So I think that they were pretty lenient on letting players just go straight up. He filed some application. I don't really know what it was, but he wrote a letter basically to the NCAA asking for permission to play this season, and it was granted. He was not expecting it to be granted. He actually said in the summertime, like about 5 months ago, I'm not going to fight the battle. I'm just going to accept it and sit out and redshirt a year. It'll help me get better as a player, and I'm really excited for that, for the opportunity to become a better player by sitting out and watching for a year. But he did end up filing a thing, whatever it is. He ended up filing paper thing to the NCAA, and it was granted. They said, yeah, that seems like legitimate. You really didn't get to play your full year, whatever. I don't really know exactly what it was. I could not figure, I looked up so many different things. I couldn't really figure out what the general idea of his paper was to the NCAA, but I'm assuming it's either that or I really don't know what. My first guess was when I heard that he was able to do this, I was like, oh, he probably got injured. And so they were like, okay, yeah, that was basically a redshirt year, even though if it wasn't technically considered a redshirt year. Kind of like how this happened with Josh Perkins and Shimmick Karnowski. They both started out the year playing, like 2 separate years. Josh Perkins plays about 5 games, gets kicked in the face, breaks his jaw, freshman season. They are able to consider that a red shirt because he didn't play because when you're a red shirt, you can play a certain amount of time, and Josh Perkins was eligible for that. And Silas Milson ended up giving up his red shirt because you can only have a certain amount of red shirts each year, so Silas Milson gave his up for Josh Perkins that year. And then when Shimmick did it, he played like 8 games. He had played quite a bit more, and then he had like some back injuries. He'd get back surgery. So same thing with him. And so what I was thinking is Andrew Nembhard gets injured. Like, let's say he just snaps his leg clean in half last year after, like, let's say 9 games. Then I thought they would be like, okay, you didn't even really get to play next year. Last year you basically redshirted, even though it wasn't technically considered a redshirt. But I was completely wrong about that. So he is going to get to play this year. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I had only heard of Andrew Nembhard one other time before this news came out today, because I literally don't know everything about all these new players yet. I'm going to have to watch this game against Kansas on Thursday. If you didn't know, it's on Thursday versus number 6 ranked Kansas. I will definitely be watching that. I will make a video after that game is over as well. But he, like, I had not heard of him except for one time when my cousin said that he did not like him because he beat the Nevada Wolfpack, which is his favorite team, and he was really, really good. He was the best player on their team, and he was telling me how good he was, and that he was going to have to redshirt because he had transferred. And I was like, that kind of sucks. But then, coincidentally enough, like, he told me that probably yesterday, I would say, or maybe the day before, and then today this news comes out that he will be able to play. So I think that's really, really cool, and I'm very, very happy to see this. I know Jalen Suggs is going to start at point guard for us. He'll probably come off the bench. I don't think he would get drafted off the bench, but you never really know because of, like, the Zach Collins thing, where Zach Collins didn't start a single game for Gonzaga and got drafted 10th overall, and he didn't even look that good in college either. It was just like his McDonald's All-American in high school, really high start recruit. I don't remember the number, but he was like a really, really high recruit, and they just saw his potential. Kind of like DeMontis Sabonis, I guess he started, but he like played 2 years. They saw his potential. I don't think he was all the way there yet, and got drafted really, really high, 11th overall. It would kind of surprise me if he got drafted, because I know we're gonna have a ton of really good players. The only way I think is if we won the national championship, which I think this year is our best chance to win it, really, ever, because we have Jalen Suggs, one of the highest recruits in the country, which Gonzaga usually doesn't get that high for recruits for whatever reason. They usually have to go and get like underlooked international players, and they've done it so well year after year after year. And now we have a 5-star recruit in Andrew Nembhard. We have Jalen Suggs. We have Joel Ayayi, who's been playing really, really well. We have Corey Kispert, who's been playing really, really well. We have Drew Timme, who's been playing really, really well. And we have all these other players who are really, really good role players, like Antoine Watson and Admon Gilder and all these other dudes. So I think Gonzaga is going to do very, very well next year. This kind of sucks for Florida. Kind of a sucky loss for them. I don't understand still 100%, not even 80%, why he got to play. I just had guesses, like, because of March Madness getting canceled last year. If you know the actual reason, let me know in the comment section below. I'm fully admitting I don't know why. So don't, like, go in the comment section and just hate and be like, oh, you don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm admitting I don't know why. But this news did just break. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Also, like the video. Peace.